And we're live here on YouTube. I'd like to welcome those listening in podcast land, and also my buddy Rich. Rich, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, Mike. Um, yeah, a little sore as there was a lot of conditioning and stamina workouts at the gym this week, but hung in there, still made it to all 4 days, all
Wow,
four
nice.
scheduled workouts.
Yeah.
But a lot of jumping and running and biking and rowing, but it's good. It's good to get those muscles back working.
Yeah. Um,
So, Mike, how was your week?
it was good. I it was really good. I had, work's work. Uh, Come back from to find out something wasn't done, so was gonna do it myself, and then realized, well, can't really do it myself. So I was told not to by my boss because somebody else was assigned something. So
Mm,
you know, I'm gonna listen to my boss, I guess, which clears me up to do other things, which is nice.
That's always good. All right, Mike. So this week we got obviously got a lot of things to talk about as the NASCAR corner will be going south of the border this week
Yep.
as they'll be racing down in Mexico
And
City
left and right turns.
and left and right turns. Yup. And Mike, we're going to be looking at the Monday night football schedule.
Yep.
What else are we going to be talking on?
Rich, we're going to be talking about horse racing and baseball. Plus, we got some playoff talk to talk about. All that and more, but Rich, what's it time to do?
Mike, why don't you go ahead and roll that intro?
Broadcasting live from somewhere in Iowa. This is Balls and Sticks, the podcast, with your hosts, Mike and Rich.
And we're back. Okay, Rich, before we do anything, we got to figure out what we're doing this summer with a grand old poll question. Poll questions are brought to you by us. I was going to come up with a new fake sponsor again, but I didn't come up with one great right off the bat. So this week we were doing our first summertime activity poll.
Mm-hmm.
Put number 8 boating versus number 9 fishing.
Yeah, as we explained last week, the seeding was done by Mike and I ranking our 12 activities 1 to 12 and finding the average between our two picks. Obviously, fishing for me is always going to be really low
Fishing for
because
me
I
is
just don't like fish.
fishing for me is regularly high. I love fishing. I'd like to do it more, but Well, the audience agrees with you, Rich, as 5 people voted for boating. Let me give you the 2 losers on the
Okay.
picks. That would be me and Bob Driscoll voting for fishing. The winners, Tyler Allen, AJ Hendricks, Danielle Hart, Austin Shrepeck, and you, Rich Hendricks. So maybe I can use this to get a boat. I'm trying to see. We were at the farm today, and I almost told my father-in-law he should bring the boat over tomorrow. But,
Yeah, I mean, you've got the perfect situation up there, having all the lakes, having all the different lakes that are all connected up there
Yeah.
where you're at up in northwest Iowa. And so it's good. So I've had a chance to drive the pontoon boat that we'll rent when we go out to Giant Goose Ranch. But I don't know. So that's why I went boating. But no matter what was going against fishing, more than likely I was going to vote for the other activity, no matter what. So Mike, this week we're going to go with maybe two things that when you see that they're on the calendar or you see that they're coming up, it's one of those things, probably both of them fall into that category of, this sounds like a cool idea. We should go. But then you never go. And we're going to drive-in movie or the state or county fair. Drive-in movie, state or county fair.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. So I'll try and get that poll up tomorrow. You can find our poll questions on Fans of Balls and Sticks and also on Mike and I's Facebook page. That's Facebook Fans of Balls and Sticks. If you're seeing us here on YouTube or out in podcast land, look for the link in the show description to take you directly to that page. Mike, do you see what's coming up next?
Is it a left turn, Rich?
It is a left-hand turn.
And after that, Rich, is it a right-hand turn?
It could be it could be a right-hand turn or a left-hand turn, depending on where they're at on the course. Mike, tell them why.
Because we're heading into the NASCAR Corner, presented as always by I Sports Cards Incorporated, Moline, Illinois. Check them out for all your sports memorabilia needs on 5th Avenue in Moline or on their eBay store. Once again, that is I Sports Cards Incorporated. Rich, man, we got a great race. We had a great race Sunday. I watched a lot of it. Slept a little bit because it was a long weekend, but slept a little bit through it. But other than that, watched most of it. Mm-hmm. I think it's maybe 2 weeks in a row, or 2 out of 3 weeks, that I got bit by by fuel or a tire, and this was a combination of the two.
Or pit strategy just not working.
Right, late in. So, as Denny Hamlin is your winner, which I'm happy about, but Carson Hocevar dropped out of the lead with a flat right side tire. Luckily, it was right before pit lane, so he was able to get in with minimal damage and secured a 29th position in Michigan. However, Eric Jones pulled off an 11th place finish, moving you up to 8-7 on the year.
All right. So, Mike, when I texted you about the race finish, you said, "I don't know how I feel about this one." Do you recall what led? I know it's almost a week later, but do you recall why you happened to say, "I'm kind of conflicted over this one"?
Well, the reason I was conflicted was because I'm happy that Denny Hamlin won.
Okay.
I'm sad that Carson Hocevar didn't do better, so you got the point.
Okay, I wasn't sure because I could have swore I wasn't sure if it was due to Denny's comments.
No, I've come to the realization that apparently now Kenny there's been a turn and Denny Hamlin is now the heel, and that's fine. I'm not a fan of him being the heel, but he's the heel.
Gotcha. I could have swore like my Amy was saying that supposedly he told his dad that he wasn't going to do the whole "I beat your favorite driver" and being cocky or egging on the booze, but I don't know where she got that one from. But I don't know. I'm not the biggest Denny Hamlin fan. It's just he seems like really, really cocky, and I don't. Now it's even worse with this whole like "I beat your favorite driver." Which ones you beat? I beat all your favorite drivers.
I mean, he did.
He did.
Like, show me the lie. I'm not saying I like that he does it. I'm just saying, show me the lie.
Yeah.
So.
All right, Mike. So that takes us to, probably going to say it wrong, but I'll try it anyway. The Viva Mexico 250 in Mexico City at the road course at Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez.
Hermanos Rodriguez.
Hermanos? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So, Mike, it is a road course. So, if you're setting your lineup, look at the road course aces. for your lineup, your AJ Allmendingers, Shane Van Gisbergen, and probably I would probably say even Chase Elliott and
I mean,
Elliott and McDowell, guys
yeah,
that being a road course is going to be their best chance at getting a victory and getting in the victory lane.
yeah, yeah. I 100% agree. And I would all but one guy that I have that I'm picking for the week is pretty much what I agree with that. I'm picking somebody not in that list. I would, and I only pick somebody not in that list because most of the guys in the list are guys that I've already picked. So.
All right, Mike. So I'm going to go with Michael McDowell. You normally, when you're doing a fantasy lineup or just picking who's going to win the race, you're probably only going to put Michael McDowell in your lineup when it's a super speedway or a road course.
Yeah.
Outside of those two,
yeah,
save your Michael McDowell's probably not going to be in a fantasy lineup or a guy that you would pick to win. So Michael McDowell this week. I'm going to save my my Chase Elliott, Dinger, and SVG picks for other road courses later on in the regular season. So, Mike, who are you going with today?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Ross Chastain, mostly because that way you can't cheer against me.
Gotcha. All right, so you can catch that race on Amazon Prime. It's 1:30 Central Time.
Yep. I'm looking forward to that. That'll be right around nap time, and we can, yeah.
All right. So, Mike, one bit of news that I did find within the NASCAR corner is that Dodge Ram plans to return to the NASCAR circuit in the Truck Series.
Okay.
So they will join the Chevy Silverados, the Toyota Tundras, and
the F-150s.
The Ford F-150s.
Yeah.
So
I like it.
There's a chance that they could bring either the Charger or the Challenger up to the Cup Series in a couple of years.
And I would love to see that too. Either of those would be great. I love this call. I really do. I really. Ram is. Here's the thing. The old adage used to be, win on Sunday to sell on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Now Ram is already one. Like I think it's the top selling, if not one of the top 5 selling, or one of the top 2 selling trucks in the country. They don't have to do this. I think that the guys in Dodge are like, why are we not back in NASCAR? Like, ugh, needs to happen. Let's get us back in. So I'm here for it. I love it.
Yeah, I like it too. So I think I could have swore like with I guess who could you see coming up to the truck to the Cup Series first though? Dodge, who's saying there's an option, or there's maybe
I think Honda's already
coming back, or Honda.
I think Honda's already working towards it. They are working hard. I think it's going to be Honda. That's just me though.
So would that be like a Civic Si, or
I don't know what they would do. I genuinely don't know how they're going to pull that off. They don't have a car that really fits the spec in styling.
I kind of feel the same way about Toyota.
No.
As well, a Camry.
I mean, I guess, so when Toyota came in, the spec was the Taurus. Well, now I want to know. Because I think it was the Taurus still.
The Taurus was a Ford brand.
Right. No, I'm saying, but it was the
So has Toyota always put out a Camry.
So it's 04.
Okay.
So in 04, NASCAR was running the Gen 4 car. They had Chevy, which was, I'm pulling it up. So actually, Dodge had the Charger and the Intrepid the Intrepid in 04, and then in 05 it became the Charger. Ford had the Taurus in 04, and then the Fusion it started in 06. And it was the Monte Carlo was the Chevy in 04. There also was the Pontiac Grand Prix in 04, but it was the last year of them doing it because Pontiac closed up shortly thereafter. So if you look at those cars, and then it became the Chevy Impala. If you look at those cars, all of those cars match the Camry.
Okay, that's fair. So I guess so I guess you probably put if Honda got into NASCAR, probably would be the Accord, wouldn't it? Would you think?
Let me look. I'll just look now. Because
a Civic just seems too small, and a Crosstrek is
So,
darn near a station wagon, not not a car.
picture of it. So what the rumored rendering in 24 was the Accord.
Gotcha. That's what I figured. It'd have to be that.
So I'm surprised the Chevy doesn't, or the Toyota doesn't have their pickup in there. But their pickup looks more like a minivan than it does a pickup from the front
Why
end.
Honda wouldn't go to a pickup?
Yeah. The Ridgeline, like I'm surprised they don't have the Ridgeline in truck racing. I would think they'd be
Well, Honda isn't in the Cup Series. It isn't in any of the NASCAR series.
right. No, I agree. But I'm saying I would think if Honda was going to put something into NASCAR, it would likely be a truck because that's the thing that they most compete with. Not most compete with, but that's the brand of car that they have that would look most similar to what's already racing. The Accord doesn't look like anything. I guess the current Accords look all right. They look like the Toyotas, so that would work, I suppose.
Oh, yeah. It's probably the closest thing. And
The hard part for me, though, is, and this is just me, NASCAR used to require that the cars, so it used to be stock cars, actual stock cars. So yes, you put a roll cage, and yes, you put some safety things in, and yes, you could lighten it and get rid of blah, blah, blah. But the basic car itself, the engine and the body, had to sell on a showroom floor. And you had to sell, I think it was like 500 or 1,000 of them. And so that's why you have, like, especially in the 60s and 70s and 80s, those cars look like cars you could walk up to a dealership, up at whatever dealership you wanted to, and buy that car. And you could buy a version of that car that essentially could go out and race on the NASCAR tracks and theoretically compete. You're telling me that the Toyota Camry, now I think Toyota's moved to the Supra, didn't they?
No, I think it's still a Camry. But it's an option that you could, but after the
Oh, it is
Toyota
still the
Camry,
Camry.
whatever it is, there's no way that you would be able to walk into a dealership and say, I want a Camry, whatever the option.
I want a NASCAR
term is.
Camry. They don't have those anymore.
No.
The problem, and I don't even care about that. I don't care that you can't buy the spec, but it doesn't even it looks like a Camry. But look at the Mustang.
That does look like a Mustang, where you could walk into a Ford dealership and buy a Mustang, and it's gonna look fairly similar.
Okay, we're gonna.
But I mean, you bring that up, and you got to it before I did. That's what kind of Chevy's gonna have on their hands since they decided to discontinue the Camaro. So what if Chevy's gonna stay in NASCAR? What stock car version are they gonna field? Since a lot of Chevys have gone to producing they're more closely aligned with the SUVs and trucks than they are of passenger cars now.
Okay.
Where I could have swore I've seen that maybe they'll go to Buick, but Buick as the NASCAR car, as the Cup car.
Okay, so this does kind of look like a Mustang. I'll do it. I'm gonna share screen, entire screen, that screen.
Yeah. No, I think it looks good. It looks very similar as you have it up here for us.
Yeah. So they look similar. That one's fine. But yeah, I don't know. To me, it doesn't seem. They don't seem as close. They seem a little more rounded, but I guess Ford is. I guess they look a little similar. They don't look exactly the same, but they look closer than they used to. The last gens did not look anything like them. They had stickers that made them kind of look like them, but even this I don't think looks that close. That's my problem. Like, I'm not buying that. But as opposed to this here. Hang on, where is it? Boom. Okay. I just want this stupid. I want to bring up.
But I guess according to like an AI overview, with the Camaro being discontinued, you could see Chevy go back to bring in the Chevelle or the Impala. So I guess they're going to bring.
Yeah, the Impala would work.
The Impala is rumored to be making a comeback, so they could bring the Impala back to NASCAR.
Actually, this is the perfect thing.
And what's that?
This to me embodies what I really want. So this guy, he's a drift. It's Von Gittin Jr. He is a he's one of the predominant drifters in the world. The guy has partnered with Ford to make essentially a replica of his car, including the engine. Now, I don't remember, but I don't think the steering wheel comes on and off. It might even, but they put like bucket seats in it that like have shoulder harnesses and it's essentially a race car that you can go buy. This is what I want in NASCAR. To me, that is something that is lacking in in NASCAR right now is what they're not really selling what you're getting, what the NASCAR guys have. But this right here, I can go buy this if I have $130,000 or whatever it is. I can go buy this and have essentially the same car. It even has, so I'm going to get into some nerdy stuff, some car nerdy stuff, Rich. I know you don't really care all that much, but it has what's called an angle kit. So your normal steering, you may get like your wheels. This is your wheels when you're going straight. When you turn, you may get about that far. Your wheels don't turn that far. You can get them a little farther, but this has an angle kit that essentially lets you go that far. Your front wheels can go that far on a car that you can buy off a lot at a dealership because it's as close to the race car as you can get and still be street legal. NASCAR doesn't do anything about that. NASCAR couldn't care less. They're not trying to sell it. They're not trying to do anything that way. All they care about is making it look, or is getting seats in the butt, or butts in the seats. Mm-hmm. And I sure, that's fine, but when Von Gittin Jr. has a deal with Ford to make a car that is essentially his exact race car, tell me that NASCAR couldn't work with these organizations to get their cars to, and that's the other problem. Because we run a spec car, because we run what is essentially just a basic spec car nowadays, it actually doesn't matter. It is all that they care about. All that they care about in these is getting it looks exactly like the template's supposed to. And by the way, they don't change the template for Ford, Chevy, or Toyota. So if I put these three cars next to each other, the car that I buy on the lot, those three cars would not pass the same template. But in NASCAR, they all pass the same template. This is the problem. We are no longer doing spec cars. We are doing, or we're no longer doing stock cars. We're doing spec cars. So, okay. That's essentially all I got to say about that.
Okay. No, it's fair. I mean, I guess I did stand corrected. I did go and just do a Google search. Can you get a Toyota Camry XSC, which is the badge number that the Camry in NASCAR is, and you can go to a dealership and buy it. Is it probably going to be able to go as fast? No.
I'm pulling up what the spec is, actually.
Probably the look probably isn't going to be.
I'm going to pull up the spec. So it's a $36,000 car. That's awesome. Cool. Oh, you know what? Okay. You know what engine I get in it?
What do you get?
I get one option. 2.5 liter, 4-cylinder gas with an electric hybrid. So the car that NASCAR... Oh, wait. Hang on. Maybe I can get some... Oh, no. That's all I can get. You can't get a manual transmission. Can't get... All you get, the only engine and drivetrain is a 4-cylinder hybrid engine.
So not even a non-hybrid option.
Nope.
So that's not close.
That's not a NASCAR car. Now, if I go and I look at Supras, I'm guessing Supras probably have, something semi-close. But that's still going to be a 4-cylinder. But let me look. I'm gonna go find it. I'm going to look. Because, NASCAR. Oh, they also have the G36. I forgot about the G36 that they still have. Oh, okay. GR Supra. MKV Final Edition. I don't know what that means, but it's the highest spec. Yep. This isn't going to be a... Oh, that one. So in the car that is the version for the lower class,
Mm-hmm.
it's a rear wheel drive only. That's the only option for drivetrain, and it comes with a bigger engine, a 3.0 liter 6-cylinder inline 6 turbo engine, and I can get a 6-speed manual transmission. So, if I'm going to look to buy a car that matches a NASCAR car, any level of NASCAR car, actually, I think that the trucks are the closest. Because those, you can still get V8s in a lot of them. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm an old man and I'm just standing on a soapbox ranting and get off my lawn. Sports were better when I was a kid.
No,
Drinking bourbon and stuff.
Yeah, it's a fair point though. I think probably you're right. Probably the trucks are going to be your closest to getting to NASCAR specs as opposed to going with a Camaro or a Mustang. So
yeah, and that's just like I would now. If I was going to go buy something for performance, actually, this might shock you. If money is no object, I might look at the pickup lines. Because there's a pickup, and I think I think it will likely be the Ram version that they call it, or at least I hope so, the TRX. It A can be 4-door, and B it has like 1,000 horsepower. It's a 6.2 liter Hemi V8 with a supercharger on it that makes like close to 702 horsepower from the factory.
yeah, my thing with I guess with pickup trucks now is that you can't haul anything in them. Because everything is an extended cab because you gotta have 4 doors, and when you put that in, then that's now eaten up into your trunk, into your cargo space. To where to me it almost seems like, well,
Now you only have a
driving
4 foot.
the trucks now are an SUV without a roof covering the cargo area.
Yep. No, I can agree with that. By the way, you want to guess on the MSRP of the Ram 1500 TRX edition?
I'm horrible with car prices. Is it over 70K?
It is. Higher. We'll play the higher lower game.
90K.
Higher.
Really? 110?
Lower.
105.
Lower.
102.99.
Lower.
101?
Lower.
Okay, a straight 100.
Lower.
There you go. All right, what is it? I think I've exhausted.
96,340.
Mm.
$96,000 for a pickup truck. that may anyway. That I won't go down the rabbit trail of how nice of a car can I get for $96,000.
Last one.
No, yeah. Well.
All right. While you're looking that up, Mike, let's review our last leg of Triple Crown, which was the Belmont Stakes. Mike, your winner and the horse that you picked was Sovereignty. Both times you've picked Sovereignty, he won the race. My horse did a lot better than my two previous picks, as Braza came in third. So both of our horses made the podium. Yours just came out as the winner. So, Mike, what is that car that you could buy for the same amount of money as that souped-up Ram truck?
I'm trying to find one that's equivalent. I mean, you could get. You could buy a high spec'd out Corvette, by the way. Like one of the top of lines, no. Mercedes-Benz EQS 450. It's a sedan. It's right about the same price. The AMG GT 53. Now this is a really nice car. This is a pretty high-end car. That's about the same price. Like, I can't believe that for that kind of a price, you're gonna, yeah. Anyway, for a freaking pickup truck.
I know. Prices. It's crazy how much they're charging for these things now, and people probably aren't even using them for their intended purposes anymore.
Nope.
They just want a pickup truck.
Yep.
But I would be in that boat if I was driving a pickup truck.
The only reason I
wanted a pickup truck for having a daily driver.
If I got
not towing anything.
Here's the deal. If I were to get a pickup truck, the only reason I get a pickup truck is because I'm going to get a boat, and that would be the only time. Boat and/or trailer, camper van or camper trailer thing. Mm-hmm. Those are the only two reasons. I'm not getting a truck for anything else. I love my little SUV thing.
All right, Mike. So that was the. I think we even forgot to give our unofficial sponsor a shout out. So we'll make sure.
I did it the first one.
You did?
I did.
Okay, you did. I know we did our bit of left turn, right turn, left turn. I don't know if we ever went into the sponsor thing.
I did.
But before we talk Cubs baseball, the sponsor of our NASCAR corner is III Sports Cards Incorporated. They're in Moline, Illinois, and you can also find them on eBay. III Sports Cards Incorporated. Mike, going over the baseball diamond, June 7th through the 13th. Mike, they played 2 in Detroit. They went out to Philly for 3 games before coming home to face the Pirates for what I thought was 1 game, but was actually 2.
Yeah. So they almost made my 5 work.
They did. You put 4.
Or 4.
You put 4.
They almost made my 4 work.
If the Cubs had won on both Thursday and Friday, we both technically, I would have given it to you as a 4 win, even though there was a missing game that I forgot. Normally, you don't have a series start on a Thursday.
Nope.
So I thought that Thursday was an off day, coming back from Philly. So anyway, they split the Saturday, Sunday games in Detroit. They lost 2 of 3 up in Philly, but they won the Thursday. But they technically split the 2 games with the Pirates, going 3-4 on the week. I said they win 3 games. Mike, you gave them 4. I think this has been the first time in a while where they've had a losing week from show to show.
Yeah. That's that's rough. Yeah, 3-4 is rough. I mean, again, unlike what May had, we had Phillies and Detroit, two great teams.
Yeah.
And the Pirates are not a bad team. Let's get that out there first. The Pirates are not a bad team, and they're a division rival. So,
it was a close game today.
Yeah,
we could have gone. I mean, maybe if the weather was better, it was raining all day today.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't. If it's not raining, you don't win you don't lose in extra innings.
I saw something.
So while you're looking that up, Mike, June 14th to the 20th, Mike, they will face the Pirates for 2 games. They will have Monday off before welcoming the Brewers into town. And then they get the Mariners on Friday.
So, and I'm trying to see if I can get this right. I was watching a thing earlier this week where they were talking about Pete Crow Armstrong and his hitting percentages, his batting average on the year. And if you throw him a first pitch ball, he's over 500. If you throw him a first pitch strike, he's like at 600 if you throw him a first pitch ball to get on base. If you throw him a first pitch hit or first pitch strike, he has a batting average of 550 on that first pitch. Now, it's not always, but if you throw him a first pitch strike, it's like a 550. The man is on fire. He cooled off a little bit this week, but seriously, that man is crazy good. I'm loving it.
Yeah, I would have never thought he'd be putting up these types of offensive numbers and getting cleanup for us. As I think, like, he started the year hitting like, I think he was hitting like 7th to start the year, and I think people were a lot of stats projections were projecting that he would be putting up these these offensive numbers over the entire season, not at the All-Star break.
Yeah, he is. Now, yeah, his on-base percentage, an 853. Oh, I'm sorry, that's his on-base plus slugging. OPS, not a... His on-base percentage is a 304. His OPS, though, is an 853. Like... The man is just doing things that we've never seen in Chicago even. Like, it's ridiculous the tear he's on. So, but that is not even the biggest story I want to talk about in baseball this week, Rich.
All right, how many wins for the Cubs this week? Then we'll get into what you shared with me through in our Facebook Messenger chat.
Oh, that isn't even it. That isn't
about
even it. But we'll talk about that too. I have 2 things that I want to talk about in baseball.
Okay.
The first one is, or I'll give them 5 wins.
Okay.
The Mariners, they should win that game. They should win 2 against the Pirates. 2 out of 4, or 3 out of 4 against the Pirates should be expected. And the Brewers, we should get 2 at home. So 2 on the next 2 they should win, and they should win Friday next week. They should pick up 2 against, so that's 5.
Okay. I'm going to go 4.
Okay.
All right, Mike.
Which one do you want
What
first?
is
Do you want the
your
Cubs
rando
related?
topic?
Do you want the Cubs related one or the non-Cubs related one?
It doesn't matter. Go for it.
We'll go with the Cubs one because we're talking about the Cubs right now.
Yeah.
So, this week, the Cubs made history. It's never happened before. The Cubs' starting 9 were all first-round draft picks. Now, not all by the Cubs, but they were all first-round draft picks. How about that? Never happened in the history of the game. So that's that.
Yeah.
That's an amazing stat.
I guess you're right, though. I mean, you'd think that earlier on in baseball where there was less teams and finding and signing talent was a lot more important, you'd think it would have happened by now, but at the same time, trading and free agency wasn't a thing.
Trading was always a thing.
That's true. Trading was. But
free agency wasn't, which means that it would have been harder to get that in the past. But yeah, it was crazy. So yeah, that's to me crazy that it just hasn't happened before. Now, the big one I want to talk about.
Okay.
Hopefully we don't get copyright struck for this. Maybe this. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go this and this. This catch right here. Now tell me this isn't one of the greatest catches you've seen even in your life.
Oh, wow.
Had you not seen that this week?
I don't think I had. That's crazy.
Like, this man's sitting here like, I hit a home run. And that man's like, you did, but I stopped it.
Yeah.
Like seriously, let's watch it again. Look at this jump. Like, this is... that's robbery.
So if he had gone over the other way, taking the ball with him over the wall, would it have been a home run?
No. Yes, it would have. If he does not land in the field of play, if his feet land out of the field of play, it is a wherever the ball would have landed without him catching it.
Gotcha. Yeah, that is crazy. I'm glad you brought that up and were able to share it on the feed.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah. So, crazy play. Thank you, NBC, for that amazing hit and like that great hit and then a great steal. Like that's one of the biggest robberies I've seen in years. It's great. So, okay. There you go. There's my 2 random topics for baseball.
Well, I knew one of them.
Yeah.
I knew one of them, but
I thought you had seen that. Thank you,
No.
Bernie. I'm actually going to give a shout out. Bernie Calkins shares things on our page a lot. He shared that was from from June 9th. Shared that. So thank you, Bernie, sharing that. Sharing it on June 10th. But yeah, great play. So, okay. With that, Rich, let's go. Let's leave the baseball diamond. Talk playoffs as we have 2 tied series as the Pacers and the Thunder are tied at 2 games apiece, and the Oilers and the Panthers are tied 2 games apiece. By the way, both of these series have been crazy. Like the Oilers and Panthers, I think, have had 3 overtime games, and in that, it was like twice to put it into overtime was 10 seconds or a goal with 10 seconds or less to go in the third period.
yeah, game 1 was overtime. Game 2 was a double overtime.
Yeah.
And then Thursday, yesterday's game was in overtime.
3 out of 4. And 2 of those, if I remember correctly, went into overtime because of a under a minute, last minute goal that sent them into overtime. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So,
Really do need to watch some of these games. Really do.
yeah, we do. And then the Pacers, I think we talked about it, but was it before last week's game or was it this week where the Pacers, one of the wins that the Pacers have, they only led the game for like 0.2 seconds.
Yeah, I think that was their game 1 victory.
I'm hoping both of these are going to 7. So, game 5 for is in Edmonton. Go Oilers! Let's go. And then I don't remember.
The Pacers series will pick up back up on a Monday in Indianapolis.
Okay.
I don't know why they put so much games. I don't know why they put many.
They do that in the regular season.
I don't know. I could have swore back when we were growing up, when the games were better, NBA Finals, you played 1, 2, 3. There were no like 3-4 days off in between games.
They had 2 travel days. Generally.
Well, yeah. You had a day off to travel in between games 2 and 3, but
no, you had 2 days. You had 2 days. They got 2 days.
There's no way. There was no. I don't recall them doing
3 full days.
Over 3 full, 2 or 3 full days in between when you weren't traveling. But maybe I'm remembering it wrong. So I could have swore during the Michael Jordan's heydays in the NBA Finals, winning those games, they played Game 3.
Yep.
And you know what? They played Game 4 was next night.
Yep.
There was no off day or
if they were staying in town, it was back to back. So, okay. Yeah, I agree, but it's whatever. I mean, it's the soft NBA. If Michael played the with load management and all that crap, he'd still be playing today.
The thing is, I don't know if he would have gone for the whole load management. I think he would have been a lot like Kobe in saying that no, I'm not going to take a night off.
But the difference is, and I agree. I agree. But load management, like when Kobe was ending, load management was starting, but it wasn't like everybody in the league did it. It was starting to be a thing, and you saw guys doing it, but it wasn't as much as it is today. Today's load management is completely different, and everybody does it. But I agree, Kobe. I don't think either Michael or Kobe would have done it. But everybody else's greatest of all time apparent it's okay for him to do it as much as he wants.
Oh, but that's why he's in his early 40s and
he turns 40. He turns 40 this year.
Okay, then that's why he's still playing.
Michael played when
because
he was 40.
Because he took care of his body and did load management.
Michael played when he was 40.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. I read an article about Michael Jordan coming back to the Wizards, and that it had less to do with him actually wanting to come back and more to do with him saving a franchise and saving the NBA. I'm gonna leave it at that. That's all I'm saying. Had very little to do with him wanting to actually come back. But let's get I mean, we only got 7 minutes. Do you want to do it in 7 minutes, or do you want to?
I think we can do it in 7 minutes.
Okay, Week 1 and Monday Night Football, ESPN, ABC games. So I'm going to tell you the game. You're going to say yes. You're going to watch it. No, you're not. And I'll tell you where you can watch it. So Game 1, Week 1, Monday Night Football, September 8th, Vikings Bears in Chicago.
Oh yeah.
That's a must watch. By the way, that's ESPN and ABC. Week 2, Bucks Texans. You can catch it on ABC or ESPN.
I might watch that one. I might watch it. Probably a might. Probably a maybe for me.
I might watch it. I might not. You're right.
I got Baker in a fantasy league, and Bucky Irving, so I think I'd watch that game.
Okay.
I got some good fantasy players. The game 2 on that week 2 is the LA Chargers and the Vegas Raiders.
And that's only on ESPN. I probably won't watch it.
No, I don't. That's the late night game. I don't think there'll be much of an overlap between these two games, so I just don't stay up late anymore. So no, probably not going to watch that one. Week 3, Mike. The Detroit Lions go out to Baltimore.
This has the potential to be a great game.
I agree.
I want to watch it.
I think I'd try and watch that one.
Catch
Week
it on
4, Mike, where
ESPN.
they at?
Catch it on ESPN or ABC. Both of them will have it. Week 4, they have 2 games. They have a 6:15 game on ESPN only, and that's going to be the Jets versus the Dolphins. Not going to watch it. I don't want to watch
Probably
Tua
not.
as much as as much as a train wreck Tua is. I don't want to watch him die. That legitimately, I just don't want to watch Miami games anymore. I'm afraid that's what we're going to see one of these days, and I'm not going to do it. So I refuse to watch it until Tua's gone. I'm sorry.
Even if the Bears play the Dolphins.
I will watch the Bears play the Dolphins. That will happen. But I'm going to pray that Tua doesn't die that day. That's the only thing I'm praying
All right,
for.
Mike. There's a second game on that week 4 with Joe Burrow and the Bengals going out to Denver.
I like Joe. It's on ABC. Still probably not going to watch it.
I think I might watch that one. Week number 6, they scheduled the Chiefs going down to Jacksonville.
I guess it's to get Jacksonville a game that people are going to watch.
Or at least they get a bright. They can say that they got a standalone primetime game.
Yeah, it's ABC and ESPN 7:15. I like the Chiefs, so I'll probably watch it.
I don't know if I'll watch this one. Next week, Mike, the Buffalo Bills go down to the ATL.
This is going to be on ESPN. Not going to watch that because I'll be watching the 7:15 game, Bears Washington Commanders, on ABC.
I agree. I'll probably be going to the Bears Commanders game. Mike, the next one, the Buffalo Bills. The Detroit Lions will play host
To the Bucs.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
This will be on ESPN and ABC. I don't know if I'll watch it. I might. This is a might watch. Week 7, they
Detroit's
also.
a fun game to watch.
Yeah, Detroit's
Detroit
always, and
seems
that's
like a
yes.
fun team to watch. So I think I'd do this one.
I like the game. I
Houston-
don't know if I'll watch it, but they're also gonna
Houston,
have,
Seattle.
and that's only on ESPN Plus. So I won't watch it because I don't pay for ESPN Plus.
Yeah, I don't think I'll end up watching this one. Jaden Daniels and the Commanders go out to Kansas City in week number 8.
And this is ESPN and ABC again, and I'll probably watch it mostly for the Chiefs. And Jaden Daniels is good too.
Yes.
What's your thoughts? Maybe,
Probably
maybe not. Week number 9, you have the Arizona Cardinals going to Dallas to play the Cowboys.
Why?
Because it's the Cowboys. They have to have a Monday night
No.
game. I don't want to. I'm not going to watch it. ESPN or ABC, either one. Week 10, you have the Eagles and Green Bay. I actually don't think this. I don't think I'm going to watch this game. It's ESPN or ABC. Probably not going to watch it. Not because I don't like the Packers. Because I don't think this is going to be that great of a game. The Eagles are much better than the Packers. I don't think the Packers improved enough. I don't think it's going to be a great game. I might watch the first half.
Yeah, I probably agree with you. Probably a first half. Not going to probably stay up till the end.
Nope.
All right, the next week, the Dallas Cowboys go out to Vegas. Nope.
Nope. ESPN or ABC. Week number 9, the Panthers fly all the way across the country to play in San Francisco against the Niners. I don't think it's going to be a good game. I don't really care, and it's only on ESPN.
Yeah, I don't think I'll make it. I don't think I'd want to stay up for this one either. Nor the next week when the New York Football Giants go out to New England.
Nope, don't care about that one. Week 14, Rich, who do we got?
The Eagles go out to take on the Chargers out in Inglewood,
By the way,
California.
sorry to interrupt. Week 13 is ESPN only. Week 14, ESPN, ABC. This could be a meaningful game by then. This could be a meaningful game. probably only watch the first half.
Yeah, I probably agree. If I have the TV on, probably not going to be one that I'll stay up for the entire time.
Week 15.
Next week, Mike, two teams we both hate for different reasons. I hate the Steelers. You're not watching the Dolphins, so probably not going to watch this game.
Yep, you answered my question, and you answered mine for me, and that's only on ESPN. Week 16, San Francisco versus the Colts in Indianapolis, ESPN only. Week 16 is a hard week. You're starting to get fatigued on. It's when you're starting to get fatigued on football. You're thinking about the playoffs, but man, I've already spent Sundays, and there's probably Saturday games coming up around these ones. This is Thanksgiving week. It's gonna be nuts. We're gonna be busy. Or no, that's the week before Christmas. That's a week before Christmas, Rich. It's a Monday before Christmas. I have way more things I'm gonna be doing that week.
You know what? Whether I watch this game or not will depend on whether I have a fantasy football playoff game hanging in the balance with this game.
I ain't even gonna watch for that.
I think that would be the only thing that would give me.
If I'm in the championship game and I have two players I have one player and that player could win the game for me and the other guy has none and I'm behind by like 10 and it's a tight end. Now generally I do really good with tight ends because I draft my tight ends higher than most, so my tight ends get better points. But we'll go with the tight end and Travis Kelce or whoever I decide is my big point getter tight end this year is injured, so I have to play my backup, and that's the guy I'm relying on for points, and I'm down by 10, and that legitimately could be a mark line that I might get or I might not. I'm probably still not going to watch this game.
No, but I'm also saying this not knowing.
Yeah.
What my obligations or what I'll be doing around that time too.
I have an idea for that week because I think I might take that whole week off this year, and I might do a surprise, and I'll talk to you about it. And
sure. Way too far in advance to try and plan something like that.
Yeah.
And the final Monday night game that we have visibility on is the Rams going out to Atlanta.
ESPN only for this game. By the way, the Niners Colts are also only on ESPN. Rams Atlanta. So this is probably Atlanta determining whether or not they make the NFC South championship. Like their dying moments of if they lose this game, they're going to be eliminated because they're going to be that close, but not that close. The Rams are they're going to be that team. They're going to be the okay team, the team that does decently well but isn't great. Probably not going to watch it.
No, probably not. Probably not either. And the fact of the matter is, even if it's I like this game, great matchup. I like the game. Am I going to stay up past 10 o'clock to see the end of the game? Probably not. Probably not. And there is a Monday night football game on week number 18, but it is a to-be-determined doubleheader.
Doubleheader, so that's even more exciting.
Yes, to be determined.
Okay.
All right, Mike. Next week, or the next time that we're both on the air together, as it could be a solo show for me next week, we will look at the Bears' schedule. We will go week to week, saying win or loss. So get prepared for that probably in 2 weeks.
And so here's my other proposal. I'm going to say it now just because we don't know. Like, we're just looking baseline what we think they're going to look like. We might do this again. This is our initial thoughts. I actually have not looked at the full schedule.
Mm-hmm.
This is our initial thoughts. We will replay this. We will redo this at a later date, closer, like the week that training camp starts or something, or the second week of training camp, just so that we know, like, we can
maybe instead of going week to week, win or loss, since that is a part of our kind of like our NFL preview, maybe it'll be picking like 2 games. Like, hey, this is a game that I'm looking forward to after reviewing the entire schedule, instead of it being a win or loss.
Yeah. Okay, with that, Rich, any shout-outs for the week?
You know what? It's Father's Day, so happy Father's Day to my dad, Mark, and also a great father-in-law in Ron.
Yeah. So I got to spend the day with my father-in-law, Tony Phillips. Happy Father's Day. We went shooting and got to hang out. And dude, just he made a pizza oven that we got to use, like a fire pizza oven thing that we got to use today, and got to do a whole bunch of stuff and hung out with them, and it was a great time. And then happy Father's Day to my dad, Joe Hart. Yeah, just great man of God. But all of our fathers, both mine and my father-in-law, and both of your in-law and your dad, men of God that have instilled in us and our wives a love for Jesus Christ, which is the greatest gift a dad can give their kids. And so for me, I want to thank each one of those men personally for the gift of a strong father, of a strong Christ-centered life in each one of these men that have made me, my wife, you and your wife, the people we are today, that allow us to have such loving relationships, that allow us to do this podcast because we love one another as family in the family of God, only through Jesus Christ and Him crucified. Which, if our parents didn't, if our dads didn't instill that in our lives, we probably don't know each other. So I love these men, all 4 of them. Love all of them. So with that, Rich, let's go ahead and roll that outro. Oh, by the way, you have one more shout out for Father's Day.
You. Yeah.
Anyway, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Have a good day. Don't enjoy the socks. Enjoy the fact that you have to grill. I got to grill tonight. Oh man, I should. Oh. Anyway, I got it. Anyway, let's roll that outro.
Broadcasting live from somewhere in Iowa. This is Balls and Sticks, the podcast, with your hosts, Mike and Rich.